The girls are fighting and the wokies are eating it up. The world wants everyone to pick a side. I still remain on the side of America, and I remain hopeful that these two very hard headed alpha individuals will just work things out. Now, I think Elon perhaps went a little bit too far when he speculated yesterday that Donald Trump may be on that infamous list. There was some cause for optimism this morning that they were going to have some sort of call and, everything was to be good. Well, Trump has since called that off. And it looks like we're in for a rocky couple of days ahead. I'm sure the liberals are really confused now if they're supposed to be buying Teslas or burning them. But let's get into all the latest in the Trump v. Elon stuff. I mean, Elon even threatened essentially to strand NASA astronauts. I mean, his crash out was legendary. I understand why he is so emotional, but I really think it's best for this country if he were to calm down, both sides. Now, honestly, Trump has been pretty zen in all this. We're going to look at some of that. Let's get into this. By the way, I think there's about 200 of these left. Our gift boxes on Amazon. Father's Day is next weekend. The gift boxes are $49, free overnight shipping. It has our chocolate covered espresso beans, yogurt pretzels, our Colombian roast, our blueberry cobbler, and our honey sticks, and a K-cup adapter if they don't have a regular coffee pot. And even if you just like our coffee, help me sell through these. They're $49 with free overnight shipping. It's about 30% cheaper than buying all these things separately. Help me sell these out. Obviously, we have our whole Coffee Brand coffee store selection available on Amazon as well. Now, hopefully you'll check all of that out. Now, I want to start with the astronaut thing because that was perhaps the most stunning, most stunning admission that Elon had yesterday. Now, he has since backed off of it. The post-millennial had put, Elon had said, hey, we're going to stop construction on the Dragon capsule, but then he backed off on that, which was good to see. Trump with a pretty zen response. JD Vance issuing a pretty strong response. Hey, don't forget to pick up that gift box. If they sell it this weekend, I promise you'll never have to hear about them again. That's it. We need like 150 people who need a good Father's Day gift or just a nice sampler box. Link in the description. Donald Trump tweeted, I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago. This is one of the greatest bills ever presented to Congress. It's a record cut in expenses, $1.6 trillion, and the biggest tax cut ever given. If the bill doesn't pass, there will be a 68% tax increase and things far worse than that. I didn't create this mess. I'm just here to fix it. This puts our country on a path of greatness. Make America great again. It's actually a very zen tweet. JD Vance came out with strong support of President Trump, saying, President Trump has done more than any person in my lifetime to earn the trust of the movement he leads. I'm proud to stand beside him. Smart move. Simply because, if JD had gone all Mike Pence, he would have had no chance. I would never have voted for him in 2028. Now, other interesting stuff going on, though, is Elon is still somewhat crashing out, unfollowing Trump's biggest supporter, apparently Cat Turd. I don't care for this guy very much. I like that he supports Trump, but he's too much of a ball washer. I do think that Elon was right, that there's too much pork in the big, beautiful bill. Everyone should expect that. I agree with him, but the way that Elon has kind of crashed out, it makes it hard to support him here. I had hoped that they were going to have this call today, but it appears that call is off. Trump or Elon Musk, basically threatening to, even fund Democrats, pull his money. Wall Street now saying this is why Democrats will likely lose the House in 2026, and then Democrats will spend 2 years investigating and impeaching President Trump. Trump and the Republicans in Congress need to deliver. We want the budget cuts. We want agencies shut down. We don't want big government. I agree. But Elon Musk essentially calling for Trump to be impeached and have JD Vance take over is very odd. And I don't think it's like, you know, Elon making light of like ex-active users. Trump's on the list. Elon does ketamine. He's like, ha ha ha, that's funny. I don't actually think it's funny that you accuse a sitting president of being, you know, one of the biggest creeps ever. I mean, why did you let him watch your kid? You know, he essentially was watching your kid. He seems to have tried to back off a little bit, but he's still sharing videos of Trump, you know, talking about hanging out with Jeffrey. Again, if you think that the Democrats wouldn't have burnt it all down if they had anything of substance on Trump, then you are just incorrect, factually incorrect. You know, him sharing the stuff about his relationship. And then he shares, here's his share. President Trump, he says, Trump should be impeached and JD Vance should replace him. And Elon Musk said yes to that. Like, impeached for what, dude? Like, first of all, Ian Miles Chungus doesn't even live in America, has never lived in America, LARPs as an American, lives in Malaysia, then moved to the UAE probably to buy a wife, and he is one of the biggest losers known to man. His entire existence depends on ball washing for Elon. I think both of these individuals obviously, you know, acted emotionally. But, you know, with Trump saying the easiest way to save billions in our budget, billions and billions, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised Biden didn't do it. Then he says, in light of the president's statements about cancellation of our government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. I mean, again, very emotional back and forth. I really was hoping, it's still early in the day. It's still, at the time I'm recording this, it's only 11:30 Central Time. So I'm still really, really hopeful that they can just squash this beef or just move on. Just stop inflaming it. Trump tries to offload his Tesla as he reveals what he's driving. Elon Musk's public meltdown live updates. Donald Trump moved to sell his Tesla and parting ways with Elon Musk. Look, I still like my Tesla. I'm not selling it. As suggested, the world's richest man has lost his mind. The president said his former first buddy has got a problem with their dramatic fallout, which came as Musk stunned the world Thursday afternoon by claiming President Trump was on the list. Musk, you know, I would say that would kind of, it would kind of fit the mold of, of losing your mind. If you're going to make, you know, a defamatory statement. Now, I think he could probably skate around it because he is listed on some of the files, you know. He now plans to get rid of his red Tesla that he purchased from Elon. The vehicle was still parked outside the White House on Friday morning. However, a senior administration official told Daily Mail that Trump intends to sell it or give it away. Trump bought the Tesla earlier this year as he turned to the South Lawn into a Tesla showroom to try and protect, you know, help Elon Musk. I mean, again, Musk's call for a new political party receives overwhelming response. Yeah, it's great. And free kittens for everybody too. I mean, I agree. But this is just not great. Now, a top mega defector has told me the real revenge Elon's plotting, and it could destroy Trump's legacy. Well, let's see what that is. Let's scroll down past them rehashing everything. Elon was never in this for EV tax credit. His dance with politicians has cost him way more money than it ever made him. He knew that going in. Kentucky Republican Thomas Massey told me. So many politicians get into politics for their own personal benefit. I agree. I hope Elon stays engaged in politics, Thomas Massey said, because, you know, Massey and him agree on the BBB. But the thing is, ultimately, I'm not exactly sure what he's going to do. You know, I'm not going to run for Senate. It's the same circus with different clowns, Massey said. What is his real revenge? I mean, you know, tanking his presidency again like 2016. I don't think that goes over well for Elon. I don't find that as in line with his love for America as he's claimed, even though apparently he's cool with replacing himself with H-1Bs. Apparently, you know, an advisor sparked this, Scott Bessent, apparently, I don't know. This was Sergio's out the door FU to Musk, one White House official said. Trump and Musk spoke about Isaacson's record prior to their press conference last Friday. Despite their conversation, Trump pulled Isaacson's nomination on Saturday, which obviously Elon didn't like, which was the start of the crash out. And, you know, he requested to let his friend run NASA.
He wanted, and rightfully, you know, he recommended somebody from that he, I guess, knew very well. I'm sure he respected him, but to run NASA, and I didn't think it was appropriate. And he happened to be a Democrat, like totally Democrat. And I say, you know, look, we won. We get certain privileges, and one of the privileges, we don't have to appoint a Democrat. NASA is very important. We have great people. General Kane is going to be picked.
This is all two men having, you know, an emotional reaction, but I think the stakes are just too big. You know, how Trump could destroy Elon Musk by pressing the Armageddon button. I mean, I hope this doesn't go that way. You know, Trump could really hurt Tesla's business. I don't like that. I don't want to see this escalate. I've been watching Truth Social, hoping that Donald Trump doesn't escalate. Let this cool down over the weekend. I mean, by the way, you know, Putin kind of did a thing yesterday. It seems like Trump is just kind of sticking to business as usual. Great job numbers, stock market up big time. At the same time, billions pouring in from tariffs. I'm fine with that. Get back to business as usual. Let this cool down. Hopefully they don't escalate it, both sides of this, because the left wins. This can be a distant memory in 2 years when the primaries come rolling around, or a year and a half. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We'll talk to you again real soon.